Like shout out to John Denton, Sean C, Fantano, the Mallory brothers. Like I was like, okay, I'm not watching your video. My name is Elvin, and this is the El Video Entertainment Channel. I love anime, music, movies, and hip hop, R&B, metal, alternative metal. I used to be into those type of genres. Of course, I like bachata and salsa, especially the old school. My gosh, sentimiento, love it. So I decided to make a YouTube channel where we could talk about these type of music and delve a lot deeper into them. I have a bachelor's in English and I'm getting my master's in English, so I am going to view in a different type of lens. That doesn't mean that I'm going to focus heavily on lyrics and all that unless it, arises. But other than that, I'm not going to really focus on it. You know what I mean? Anyways, enough of the chit chat. I know y'all came for the Donda review. So let's get to El Video. Kanye West, Donda. So I don't think Kanye West needs an introduction. I think everyone knows who he is. Chicago legend. He's a legendary producer, songwriter, fashion designer, businessman, all that. Donda is his 10th solo studio album, and I think of it as like an expansion to Jesus is King, a more ambitious project than Jesus is King. By the way, Jesus King is a record that I do like. Well, I like a couple songs from it, but it still like left room to grow. It left a lot of room to improve, a lot of space, because that album, although there's elements that I do like, that album felt kind of empty, kind of hollow. I think it was way too direct in its messaging, but Donda fixes all that problem while still sticking with its religious roots. Now, of course, we know that this album is named after Kanye West's mother, who tragically passed away, Donda. And this album features a bunch of big, huge artists. Artists like Jay-Z, The Weeknd.
Lil Baby is already doing it. The Baby.
Baby Keem. That's a lot of babies. Kid Cudi, Fabio Foreign, Travis Scott, Marilyn Manson, and also Vori, and a bunch more. It's way too long. So as we said, Donda continues Jesus is King, but it becomes a way more ambitious project. It adds more personality, more colors, and also gets better and deeper when it comes to the lyrics too. I think it's way deeper lyrics-wise compared to Jesus is King. So the album starts with the song. It was not a song. It starts with Donda chant, and it's basically what it is. It's a chant where you constantly hear Donda. People speculate that it might be like the last beating heartbeats of his mother. That hasn't been confirmed yet, so I'm not gonna say that that's what it is. But to me, what it sounds like is like Kanye West calling out to his mother, like trying to, I guess, be really connected to his mother. Sort of like when you do those chants in the church. It's like it gives you that type of feeling. I think that's what Kanye West is trying to do throughout this album. All right. The second song, one of my favorite songs, definitely a highlight, Jail, featuring, and thank God, no pun intended, love you, thank God, Jay-Z, which I was so glad that he didn't remove it, man. Let me tell you something. I did listen to this album, the second session of it, with Kenny Beats. He was live, and we was like, everybody was just watching it with Kenny Beats, and we were just streaming it. So I heard a lot of these songs already, including Jail, Heaven and Hell, and all that. But feelings still hit the same, and Jail was so damn freaking good. The guitar just sounds so good, and the distortion of it, oh my God, Mike Dean, you are a genius. It definitely reminds me of My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy with the song Gorgeous. Like those same, like 2-3 notes. That's what sort of reminds me. It's like playing out throughout the whole entire track with Betty. I think it had no drums at all. Same thing it reminds me of. So this album brings a lot of elements from older Kanye West albums. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, The Life of Pablo. You'll see what I mean. We'll get to it. We also hear backup strings accompanying the guitar. Those backup strings, it like soothes the distortion of the guitar and the auto-tune in Kanye West's voice. And it makes it just a lot smoother. And I think that happens like a quarter way throughout the song. In this track, I don't know when Kanye West saying we are liars, if he's talking about himself or he's talking about celebrities in general, like them have to put up like a personality, a persona, a facade, something like that, and saying that, hey, we're all liars, we're all characters. None of us is like, this is not who we truly are. This is just like a stunt to be relevant, or it's part of our image for what we do. So maybe that's what he's talking about. And funny enough, Kanye is not the one that starts off with the religious theme of this music, himself mentioning it. It was actually Jay-Z. He's the first one to mention God in this album. I know there's the Donda chant that alludes to it, but Kanye West is the speaking there. And Kanye West's verse isn't really has any religious themes to it. But Jay-Z does. And Jay-Z has, man, that dude has nothing but slick lines. Like, it's crazy. I love the line, his first line, made in the image of God, that's a selfie. Image, picture, selfie, that's a photo. I also thought it was funny when he said, told him to stop all that red cap, we're going home. Like him referencing Kanye West and the MAGA hat, you know, that's that type of thing that Kanye was on, saying, Jay-Z is like, yo, stop that shit, like stop that. I like when he brought that up. Jay-Z also hinted at Watch the Throne too, man. Like, I don't know, we could get some business type of bars, some mogul type of bars, entrepreneur type of bars with Watch the Throne too, you know what I mean? Like, Jay-Z right now is like on a whole other element. Like, when you hear all his features, like, everybody just can't wait to see that Jay-Z verse. I think Jay-Z's in a different type of element right now. For me, Jay-Z is the greatest rapper of all time. He's like in his own type of island. No one could touch him. Also, the drums at the end of the track of Jail, it reminds me of the song Now and Forever by Drake. If you're reading this, it's too late. Like, if you hear Now and Forever, it's like the same type of drum patterns, but instead, like, it's the 808s is a lot heavier in Now and Forever. I think there's also other songs where the drum patterns are also used. You guys let me know. Just leave a comment down below. Then the second song we have is God Breathe. That track has some nice groovy 808s. It also definitely starts the theme of the album. And this is when some songs get iffy for me. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. When it comes to Vori's performance throughout this album, I actually didn't like it. I actually didn't like Vori's performance in this album. I think it's because his singing has too much vibrato in it, and that's the reason why I can't get to it. But so far lately, I'm getting used to his voice, but as of now, not really. Then comes my favorite track of the album, Off the Grid, featuring Playboy Carti, holla, holla, and Bobby, heavy on it, Fabio Foreign. Now, gonna tell you guys, gonna be completely honest, I am biased because I am from New York, and Pop Smoke, rest in peace, and Favi, I enjoy listening to them a lot. Even Favi's like his statement raps, still enjoy them. I still like them. And I also been a fan of Playboy Carti for years now. I'm talking about since the SoundCloud days. I'm talking about Holy Feel, Whole Thang, Broke Boy, Fetty, What, all that. Like, I've been a fan of Playboy Carti for a long time now. Now, before y'all say anything, I listen to lyricist rappers, but like sometimes I just want to just enjoy music or just put something on. Like, it's not that serious. It's not that deep. I listen to their music. I also really like Carti's performance in this song. I love his ad-libs and his flow, the way he was flowing throughout the track. Like, it was connecting all that. But I think we all could agree Favi is the one that stole the show in this song. This dude, first of all, before I even get to Favi's Foreign's performance, his verse, the way Kanye West transitioned the beat, so subtle. It was so subtle. Once Playboy Carti was done with his verse, and the second Kanye West spoke, like the hi-hats changed, and then the 808s was like stripped, and it went to like very subtly to drill. We could barely hear it. And when Kanye is continuing the hook, That's when you hear the drill. And right there, it was like for Favi, it was just a match made in heaven. And Favi was spitting. Listen, I could break down his whole entire verse into a whole nother video, because that's going to be a long video. But Favi was spitting here. I don't know why, but when Favi says there's demons in that dark liquor, like I felt that. I felt that. That was in my past days though. I'm in my mid-20s. That was in my past. I ain't like that now. My favorite line is like when he said, if you got a voice, then you got to project it. If you got a wrong, then you got to correct it. If you got a name, then you got to protect it. I like the usage of like the anaphora, like using the first three words. And I think if you got, repeating it like that. It's like assertive and has like this type of command, type of energy. Like it brings that energy out of you. Like, you know what I mean? And the beat is so damn good, man. You just wish that Favi just is consistent with this type of lyricism. Like after hearing this, you raised the bar, Favi. Favi, you raised the bar. I'm expecting this now. No more statement raps. Well, here and there is fine, but we need more bars like this, man. Your verse was incredible. Then we have Hurricane, and I don't know if you could see. After Hours. It's After Hours, my hat. I'm a huge Weeknd fan, huge Weeknd supporter. And the Weeknd gave a really great performance here. And so did Little Baby. Little Baby did a pretty good performance too. It was solid. The Weeknd brings like his pretty, his light falsetto type of vocals to the track. It was nice. It was nice. I enjoyed it. Praise God has some like nice 808s. Like it was like a bob with the 808s the way it was doing. I also like the vocals in the background of that song. I think it added more energy and enhanced the song as well. Baby Keem also gave a really great performance. Like even his singing was also pretty good too. But the way Baby Keem was flowing was so damn good. Like he hit a pocket now. Like now I'm excited for his next album, especially after hearing Family Ties with Kendrick. Like Baby Keem did his thing too, but Kendrick is Kendrick. Like we haven't heard Kendrick since Look Over Your Shoulder with Busta Rhymes last year. You know what I mean? So we excited. We excited. Kendrick, come on. You next. Okay has like a great build-up. At first, I thought it was going to be like a New York drill beat because I was hearing Favi. And the way like that melody, it was like this reverse type of flow, reverse type of melody to the track. I thought it was going to be like a drill beat, but it wasn't. It switched to like these 808s. But it was still a good track. I think Lil Yachty, this was solid. He was all right. I'm not a fan of Lil Yachty's music. I like some tracks, or at least tracks that he's in, where I like the features a lot more, especially played with Cardi. But he was solid in this one. I didn't mind him. But Ruga, I think Ruga's from Chicago. Ruga did really good. He really impressed me. His singing or his crooning, whatever, was really good. I really liked this a lot. So remember when I was talking about like the elements that Kanye West took from his previous album, sort of like Easter eggs? In the song Believe What I Say, that's when we definitely hear it. I mean, he brings back Lauryn Hill sample from, the College Dropout. But instead, he sampled the song Doo-Wop, That Thing, in this track. And then also he used like the same 808s that he used for the song Fade from The Life of Pablo and try to mesh them. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I can't with it. I can't get jiggy with it. It's not for me. Like that type of mesh doesn't sound good to my ears. It sounds like a mess to me. The Lauryn Hill sample and the 808s. That it sounds like from Fade, those 808s, but it doesn't sound good to me at all. However, I do like when when the track progresses, we hear that like that sound from Graduation, the song Good Morning. I like the line. It's crazy. It's like an Easter egg, the way he alludes to it. He says, man, it's too early. What the hell you doing? Waking me up at 5:30. Like, it's like an antithesis from Good Morning. Like, I don't know if what that means. Like, if Kanye West is not as enthusiastic or energetic or optimistic as he used to be from 2007 when Graduation came out, compared to now 2021. If the energy is off, he doesn't want to wake up anymore, he's not enthusiastic anymore. Maybe that's what it brings. Maybe that's what he's talking about. But I do like how he brought that back to this album. I thought it was a really cool and fun Easter egg. Now, Heaven and Hell. I remember listening to this track, not knowing the track's name, listening to this track in the second session. That's the only session that I listened to. That when Kenny Beats, when he was live on Twitch, allegedly, and listening to it, like, dude, I was bopping my head so hard when that happened. I was like, oh my god. And I'm like, yo, what song is that? They better bring that song back. And when I heard Heaven and Hell, and halfway through the album, it came. Oh my goodness. Yes, love this song. I love this track. It brings such like a cinematic experience. Like you could tell this song is going to be in a movie. This song is definitely going to be in a movie. Just like No Nutrition in the Wild, like songs like those, like that brings that cinematic experience. This track definitely brings that. I could tell like it's going to be some sort of like drama type of movie. Like the protagonist is like, like, and then that shit just like breaks down and shit. He's like, gotta find something. He's in a hurry, blah blah. Like, you could tell that's what it's gonna be like. It's really dope track. I love this track, and it's a track that I constantly go back to. Keep My Spirit Alive. This features Casey. Never heard of Casey before, but one of my favorite vocalists in this track. One of my favorite vocal performances. He sounded so good. He was so soulful. He was in his pocket. He didn't do too much, but he gave you just enough to like want for you to want more. It was so damn good. Love this track. Love Casey's performance. It was fantastic. It was great. If that's not how you pronounce his name, please leave that in the comment below. I would love to, appropriately pronounce his name correctly. That was very redundant, but you know what I mean. I also, of course, Griselda did their thing, man. Westside Gunn, who's my favorite Griselda member because he has so much energy and charisma, did his thing. So did Conway the Machine. He did his thing. It was an overall great track. Some people are not going to like this line, but I thought it was kind of funny. But it was when Kanye says, not Wakanda, but Wakanda is like what we about to make. And who gonna make it? Conda. Come on, Kanye. That's like definitely up there for dad jokes of the year. Definitely up there for one of the dad jokes of the year. Or maybe even one of the worst ones, but he still said it. The song New Again, those synths. Remember when I talked about Kanye bringing a lot of elements from his old albums? Those synths remind me from Flashing Lights in Graduation. It's like the same type of synths. Like it sounds so similar, like that he brought it back. So it was definitely cool. I like this song too. And as for the part twos of this album, besides Jesus Lord, the part twos are not needed at all. At all. The Jail part two with Marilyn Manson and DaBaby was so bad. I did not like DaBaby's performance. He just had the same type of flow. Yes, he was rapping very personal stuff, which is great. But I think DaBaby was okay. I don't think he was great or very impressive. Definitely not enough to replace Jay-Z at all. Marilyn Manson just seems so out of place for me. It came and went, his vocal, and it just seemed so out of place that it just wasn't for me. I didn't like that at all. I like most of the album, to be honest with you guys. I like most of the album. My only problem, or one of my few problems with this album, is that this album is so damn long. 27 tracks, man. First it was 26 before they had it added the Jail Part 2. But then they added it, and oh my gosh, it's still so damn long. It's almost 2 hours. I know some people say, like, hey, it's like a movie or it's a cinematic. Like, I get it. I know how Kanye Minds works. And that's the feel that he does give, and it's very ambitious. However, it's very, very long. But I like most of the tracks. I like most of the album. I think the album was really good. I understand that there was hate or something like that. I avoid opinions. Like, shout out to John Denton, Sean C., Fantano, the Mallory brothers. Like, I was like, okay, I'm not watching your video. Like, I'm not watching it. I'll watch it after I make this one, after I make this review. But, so I could, like, go in there with a fresh mindset and not be influenced. Guys, don't be influenced. If you like the album, fucking like it. If you don't like the album, don't like it. It's fine. But don't Just because some people on Twitter say something that is bad doesn't mean that it's bad. Just like what you like. That's it. Keep it simple. And, I try to go into things with an open mind and a fresh mind and give things a fair chance and see what they're going for. And for this album, I like most of the album. I like this album. This was a really good album. Now, when it comes to reviews and when it comes to like giving like a score, I do mine differently. I'm not gonna do it out of 10. I'm gonna do it 1 through 5 or 0 through 5 actually. And my criteria is gonna be different. I'm not gonna be so analytical or just not analytical, but so critical on these albums. Not too much. I'm gonna go off by enjoyment, entertainment, value, substance, and stuff like that. So here's my criteria on how I'm gonna rate the album. All right. So a 5 means I love it. It has little to no skips and has great replay value. So for me, albums that fit that 5 list is like Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly. For me, that album has no skips. Love that album. I still go back to that album to this day. I even bump it in the whip. It's a great album overall. It's a perfect album. I love that album. I will give that album a 5. Also, Anderson .Paak Malibu that came out 2016. I love that album. That was my album of the year. I listen to that album like every day from front to back. I listen to Malibu. I would give Anderson .Paak Malibu a 5. So think of it like that. Now 4 mean it's great. I really like it. There's some skips and it still has a really good replay value. A 3 is like it's good or average. It has a handful of skips, but I'm not mad at it. And it has okay replay value. Like I go back to it from time to time. I still get my tracks. There's not that much. It still has a handful of skips, but it's not that bad. It's good to it's average to good. A 2 means like it's a bad album if it's a 2. If it's a 2, I could say like a song or 2 from the album, but I'm definitely not going back to that album at all. It's a no. But I could take a song or 2 from the album. A 1 means it's awful. Maybe there's a hit, a single in that song that I take. Sometimes these new and upcoming artists has like that hit single, everybody mess with it, and then they release the project and it's trash, but they still have that one song which is good. So they still have that, sort of redeeming value. But other than that, the album's forgettable. It's bad. No, everything sounds the same. You know what I mean with a 1. And of course, there's the 0. 0 is trash, no redeeming value at all. So now that you guys know how I'm gonna rate music and my criteria for music, I'm gonna give Donda a good 4 out of 5. I think this album is not as bad as what people think. I think this is a great album. I like most of the album. I like most of the tracks. There's just some tracks I don't like. My only problem is that this album is a little bit too long. But other than that, it's not bad. So that's my final rate. It's a 4 out of 5 for me. But that's my opinion, of course. Remember, this is my opinion. This is my thoughts about the album. So tell me what's yours. What do you think about the album? Do you think it's good? You think it's bad? Do you think it's mid? Leave a comment below. And while you're down there, please give a like, subscribe. I'll be coming up with more videos. I know this is my first video. I'll be coming with more. I know Certified Lover Boy. I got to come out with that as well. That's an upcoming review. And also hit that notification bell. You won't regret it. Trust me. I'm going to be delved deeper into these albums. Thank you guys for watching. Muchas bendiciones. And I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.